Have you met this friend of Varric's, Inquisitor?
Not yet, no.
It had better not be who I think it is. I will wring that little bastard's neck.
Why? Who do you think it is?
Someone Varric claimed he could not contact. Someone the Inquisition, indeed all of Thedas, desperately needed. I'll reserve judgment until I know for certain. No need to have that rogue screaming persecution yet again.
That's enough for now.
Another time, then.
Inquisitor, meet Hawke, the champion of Kirkwall.
Though I don't use that title much anymore.
Hawke, the Inquisitor. I figured you might have some friendly advice about Corypheus. You and I did fight him, after all.
This view reminds me of my home in Kirkwall. I had a balcony that overlooked the whole city. I loved it at first. But after a while, all I could see were the people out there depending on me.
If I thought like that, I'd never get anything done.
How do you put it out of your head?
I go out into the wilderness and find something that wants to kill me. That usually clears my mind.
It always worked for me. And speaking of things that want to kill you...
Varric said that you fought Corypheus before.
Fought and killed. The Grey Wardens were holding him, and he somehow used his connection to the Darkspawn to influence them.
Corypheus got into their heads, messed with their minds, turned them against each other.
If the Wardens have disappeared, they could have fallen under his control again.
So Corypheus has the Venatori, the Red Templars, and now possibly the Wardens as well. Wonderful.
I didn't come this far just to give you bad news. I've got a friend in the Wardens. He was investigating something unrelated for me. His name is Alistair. The last time we spoke, he was worried about corruption in the Warden ranks. Since then, nothing.
Corypheus would certainly qualify as corruption in the ranks. Did your friend disappear with them?
No. He told me he'd be hiding in an old smuggler's cave near Crestwood.
If you didn't know about Corypheus, what were you doing with the Wardens?
The Templars in Kirkwall were using a strange form of lyrium. It was red. I'd hoped the Wardens could tell me more about it.
Corypheus had Templars with him at Haven. They looked like they'd been exposed to the lyrium you describe.
Hopefully my friend in the Wardens will know more.
I'll take any lead I can get at the moment.
Good. I'll do whatever I can to help. Corypheus is my responsibility. I thought I'd killed him before. This time, I'll make sure of it.
I assume Varric's been feeding you information about the Inquisition. What did he say about me?
Only good things, I promise. I was a little surprised, actually. Varric isn't one for religion in general, but he thinks highly of the Inquisition. I think the exact phrase was, "has a good shot at fixing Blondie's mess."
I'd like to know more about Anders. What was he like?
I don't know if there ever was just an Anders. He was crazy. By the end, there was nothing left in him except this insane need to start a war no one could win.
I heard you had family and friends in Kirkwall. Where are they now?
Merrill is helping elven refugees who were displaced by the war. I didn't want to take her away from that. Merrill's spent enough time fighting for her life with me.
And where did you go after the mages rebelled?
I heard the Chantry might be sending an exalted march to Kirkwall to put down the rebellion. I hoped that leaving would save lives and force the Divine to divide her forces to come after me. As it turned out, I needn't have bothered. All the circles started rising up, and the exalted march never came.
You said you thought you killed Corypheus.
The Grey Wardens had him imprisoned. They used my father's blood in a ritual to seal Corypheus inside. But he could still reach out and influence the Warden's thoughts. He sent them after me. And I didn't just think I killed him. When the fight was done, he was dead on the ground. Maybe his tie to the Blight somehow brought him back. Or maybe it's old Tevinter magic. But he was dead. I swear it.
We'll talk later.
You knew where Hawk was all along!
You're damned right I did.
You conniving little shit!
You kidnapped me! You interrogated me! What did you expect?
Hey, enough! You're taking his side? I said enough! We needed someone to lead this Inquisition. Hawk was our only hope. He was the champion of Kirkwall. The mages respected him. And you kept him from us.
The Inquisition has a leader.
Hawk would have been at the Conclave if anyone could have saved Most Holy.
You can't change the past, Cassandra.
So I must accept... what? That the Maker wanted all this to happen? That he... Varric is a liar, Inquisitor. A snake. Even after the Conclave, when we needed Hawk most, Varric kept him secret.
He's with us now. We're on the same side.
We all know whose side you're on, Varric. It will never be the Inquisition's.
Attacking him now won't help us, Cassandra.
Ha! Exactly.
And you better not be keeping anything else from us.
Ah, I understand.
I must not think of what could have been. We have so much at stake. Go, Varric. Just go.
You know what I think? If Hawk had been at the temple, he'd be dead too. You people have done enough to him.
I believed him. He spun his story for me, and I swallowed it. If I just explained what was at stake, if I just made him understand... But I didn't, did I? I didn't explain why we needed Hawk. I'm such a fool.
What if you hadn't believed him and you'd tracked Hawk down?
Honestly, Hawk might not even have agreed to become Inquisitor. He supported the Mage Rebellion, after all. He wouldn't have trusted me for a second. But this isn't about Hawk, or even Varric. Not truly. I should have been more careful. I should have been smarter. I don't deserve to be here.
Have you looked at our Inquisition, Cassandra? We're all fools here.
Is that supposed to make me feel better?
More at home, maybe.
I want you to know, I have no regrets. Maybe if we'd found Hawk, the Maker wouldn't have needed to send you. But he did. You're not what I'd pictured. But if I've learned anything, it's that I know less than nothing.
Cassandra's calmed down. I think you can take your hand off your crossbow.
Define calm down for me in terms of who or what she's punching right now. I wasn't trying to keep secrets. I told the Inquisition everything that seemed important at the time.
I bet Cassandra regrets how things went back there. You should talk to her.
I appreciate that you're trying to keep the peace, but things between me and the Seeker are as good as they'll get. I keep hoping none of this is real. Maybe it's all some bullshit from the Fade and it'll just disappear. I know I need to do better. I'm sorry.
Yes?
Varric's friend Hawk said there were suspicions of corruption in Grey Warden ranks. Do you know anything about that?
Corruption? What sort of corruption?
Corypheus. He's been known to influence the minds of Wardens.
That could very well explain why so many have disappeared.
If this is true, then all Wardens are in danger. Even you. We'd better find your brothers.
I agree. If Hawk's given you an idea where to start, we should get moving immediately.
Let's talk about the Grey Wardens. You must know a lot about them.
Ah, the Wardens. I'm afraid we're less exciting than we seem.
Have you been hearing the calling, too?
I know what Corypheus is. He has no sway over me.
How do the Wardens deal with archdemons?
Short answer? Stick it with swords until it stops moving.
I'll trust that you know what you're talking about.
We'll manage, if it comes to that.
Let's continue this at another time.
As you wish. I'll be here if you need me.
Good to see you safe, Inquisitor. We've got trouble ahead.
If you're on edge, I should alert the entire Inquisition.
Or increase my hazard pay. That's an option.
Are things that bad? Oh.
Crestwood was the site of a flood 10 years ago during the Blight. It's not the only rift in the area, but after it appeared, corpses started walking out of the lake. You'll have to fight through them to get to the cave where Sir Hawke's Grey Warden friend is hiding.
I wish we could get better acquainted, Harding, when the dead aren't rising around us, perhaps.
The world would crumble to dust before you ran out of ills to fight. Maybe someone in Crestwood can tell you how to get to the rift in the lake. Maker knows they'll want help. Good luck, and please be safe.
Are you all right?
Yes, thank you.
I'd go back to the village, miss. These roads aren't safe. The Grey Wardens thank you for your aid, Inquisitor.
What are you doing in Crestwood?
Hunting one of our own. We have orders to capture Sir Alistair of Ferelden on sight. The man's slippery as an eel. We've been chasing him for weeks.
What have you been told about this rogue warden?
Warden Commander Clarel ordered his capture. I can say no more than that. I hope Alistair comes quietly. I'd not fight the man who helped kill that many Darkspawn.
Will you stay to fight the undead here?
My orders forbid it. Crestwood was only a detour. If the Inquisition can help, I beg you to do what you can. The villagers have already lost too many.
Farewell.
Farewell.
None of those wardens mentioned a new leader. I don't think they're part of Corypheus's plot to seize the Order.
I do not think so either. The infiltration in their ranks may be subtle.
Right, because they would have said...
I hope Hawke's warden friend has answers for us. Undead by the gates!
The guards need help.
Thanks for your help, but I fear we haven't seen the end of these creatures.
How many did we lose?
No one this time.
Did you see? The corpses are coming from where old Crestwood used to be.
Amount of people we lost back during the Blight. Not surprised.
The Inquisitor? Oh, Mayor Dedrick of Crestwood Village. At your service, despite everything. Are you here to stop the undead?
We are, right? We're not just gonna leave them.
The undead are appearing because of a rift in the Fade. How can I get to it?
The light in the lake? It's coming from the caves below Old Crestwood. Darkspawn flooded it 10 years ago during the Blight. Wiped out the village, killing the refugees we took in.
I saw a dam. If we use it to drain the lake, I can get to that Fade rift.
Drain the... There must be some other way.
We are trying to help. The Inquisitor is the only one who can close the rifts.
You'd have to evict the bandits in the old fort to use the dam. I can't ask you to risk your life.
Trust me, I've fought worse than bandits and the undead.
Then I have no choice. This key unlocks the gate to the dam controls past the fort. The rift must be in the caves under Old Crestwood. But, Inquisitor, I would not linger there.
Tell me about your village.
It's seen happier days. We farm what we can, trade with the merchants who travel the King's Road. We only want peace, your worship. It's all we've ever wanted.
What can you tell me about the bandits camped in the fort?
The highwaymen thugs and thieves. They make a living raiding caravans on the King's Road. When the dead rose from the lake, the bandits killed the old gamekeeper and the fort and took it for themselves. We could have saved people if we'd been able to hide there instead of in our homes.
I'm surprised a town as small as Crestwood outlasted the Blight.
It was a close thing. The Darkspawn followed a band of refugees running from the Blight. Some of the refugees were... they were very ill. But we took them in. They perished when the Darkspawn flooded Old Crestwood.
How did Darkspawn manage that?
They found the dam's controls, wrecked them. All I remember is the refugees and villagers screaming as they drowned. And now, they return to us.
Until later. There's the keep the mayor talked about, and the bandits.
The walls look sturdy. Taking it wouldn't be easy.
I think that's all of them.
The fort appears sound. The Inquisition might make use of it.
Payday, yeah? Let's get some merchants in your new house.
The mayor said Darkspawn destroyed these controls 10 years ago. Who repaired them?
Right. Something stinks besides fish and... fish.
What do you mean the mayor's gone?
He rode out an hour ago. We spotted him from Byers Field. We didn't even stop the wave.
Maybe he's getting help.
What for? The dead are gone.
Mayor Dedrick's lived here 50 years. He wouldn't abandon us.
He's been acting strange ever since the Inquisitor drained the lake.
A letter of confession from the mayor. It says he was the one who flooded Old Crestwood 10 years ago, to stop the Blight from spreading.
He drowned them? In the muck? Oh, Mayor is having an arrow for tea.
It's monstrous, but if it stopped the Blight from wiping out the entire village...
Glad you made it. I just got here myself. My contact with the Wardens should be at the back of the cave.
He's not the only warden around here. It's a good thing his friends didn't find him in Crestwood.
Yes, I saw them earlier. They've been told he's a traitor and ordered to capture or kill him. How much blood is shed by good men following bad orders? It's just us. I brought the Inquisitor.
Wait. You have a Grey Warden with you?
Warden Blackwall.
You're Blackwall? Duncan, my mentor, he spoke of you.
Duncan. Of course. Good man.
I'm Alistair. It's an honor to meet all of you. I wish it was someplace nicer.
Are you the Alistair who fought the Archdemon with the hero of Ferelden?
I need to change my name. Yes, that was me. War, betrayal, darkspawn, all lots of fun. And made for excellent stories, I'm sure. Nobody cares about that anymore. I answer to Warden Commander Clarel now. Like everyone else.
Most of you wardens disappear. Then I run into a Darkspawn Magister named Corypheus. Do you think that one might have something to do with the other?
When Hawk killed Corypheus, the Wardens thought the matter resolved. But archdemons don't die from simple injury. I feared Corypheus might have the same power, so I started to investigate. I found hints, but no proof. And then, not long after, every Warden in Orlais began to hear the calling.
Maker, why didn't you tell me?
It was a secret. A very dangerous one. I tried to actually keep a few of my oaths to the Wardens.
Is the calling some sort of Grey Warden ritual?
Well, Wardens are tied to the Darkspawn. We're connected somehow. And eventually that connection poisons you. You get bad dreams, and then you start to hear the music. It calls to you, quiet at first. And then, so loud, you can't bear it. At that point, you say farewell, and go into the deep roads to die fighting. In death, sacrifice.
And every Grey Warden in Orlais is hearing that right now. They think they're dying.
Yes, I think Corypheus caused this somehow. If all the Wardens die, who will stop the next Blight? That's what has them so terrified.
So Corypheus isn't controlling them. He's bluffing them with this calling. And they're falling for it.
Is the calling they're hearing real, or is Corypheus mimicking it somehow?
I have no idea. Before all this, I'd barely heard of Corypheus. I didn't even know he was supposed to be a Magister until I started digging around. But right now, all that matters is the Wardens are acting like they're going to die.
How can Corypheus make all these Wardens hear the calling?
I have no idea. I suppose it's part of what he is. Corypheus is tied to the Blight, and not just a product of it like most Darkspawn. Wardens are connected to the Darkspawn too. That's how he seems able to control Wardens who get too close to him. And that's likely what he's doing here as well. Somehow.
You said all the Wardens are hearing the calling. Does that include you? And also you, Blackwall?
Unfortunately, yes. When I'm talking or fighting, I can almost ignore it. But whenever things are quiet, I can hear it. It's like a song you can't get out of your head. Damned annoying, frankly.
I do not fear the calling. And worrying about it only gives it power. Anything Corypheus does will only strengthen my resolve.
So the Wardens are making some last, desperate attack on the Darkspawn.
I saw what a Blight did to Ferelden. If Wardens hadn't stopped it, there'd be no more Thedas. Warden Commander Clarel proposed some drastic things, blood magic and such, to prevent further Blights before we die. I protested. Maybe too loudly. And Clarel sent guards and... well... here I am. Wardens were gathering here, in the western approach. It's an old Tevinter ritual tower. I'm going to investigate. I could use some help. We should get to that ritual tower in the western approach. Ideally before it lives up to its name.
You were there, weren't you? You helped fight the Archdemon.
I'm going to be answering that question for the rest of my life. Yes, I was there. It was big. The hero of Ferelden was brave. But that was 10 years ago. What have you done for us lately, Alistair? New times. New problems.
What's it like, being a warden?
Oh, it's wonderful. You get fresh peaches delivered every morning, first choice of local village girls, and bunnies too. Well, maybe it's not that. Not even close to that. I watched my brothers die at Ostagar soon after I joined. I never thought I'd see Wardens kill themselves.
Why were the Wardens trying to kill you?
When Clarel started talking blood magic and demons to deal with the calling, I said it wasn't a good idea. First, it was awkward silences, some coughing. But when I mentioned Corypheus, things really went wild. The Warden Mages said I was interfering. Called me a traitor. Funny how often that happens to me.
You mentioned Warden Commander Clarel. Is she behind this?
She's the one who summoned me and the other Wardens to Orlais when we started hearing the calling. I don't know her well. She's a mage. Smart, careful, determined. The sort of mage the Templars told me to keep a close watch over. Makes her the best kind of warden. Or at least I would have thought so. Maybe the Templars aren't wrong about everything.
Do you think she's helping Corypheus willingly, or was she duped?
Clarel would never serve something that looks like a darkspawn willingly. I heard about an advisor of some kind. Maybe we'll learn more at the Western Approach.
Corypheus was held in a warden prison, right? So the Warden should know all about him.
You'd think the Wardens would share information with each other, but they're really big on keeping secrets. Maybe they think some knowledge is too dangerous, I don't know. I only found out about Corypheus after I started digging for information. Even then, it wasn't much. For most Wardens, he'd be nothing more than an old legend, dead long ago. If they knew of him at all.
We'll talk later.
Corypheus is back. Oh, shit.
You said he was a Darkspawn, or a Magister. What is he really?
I'm not sure. I don't think Corypheus really knows either. He's definitely a Darkspawn, but when we found him, it was pretty obvious he hadn't heard that. He thinks he's a Magister, a priest of Dumat, in fact. He says he broke into the Golden City, like in the Chantry tale.
If you and Hawke defeated him once, we can do it again.
We didn't just think Corypheus was dead. He was dead. No pulse, no breath, full of stab wounds. There wasn't a lot of room for doubt. It makes me wonder. I thought the Wardens imprisoned Corypheus to use him. Maybe they did it because he can't be killed.
How did you and Hawke even wind up in a Grey Warden prison for ancient Darkspawn?
Corypheus sent people after Hawke. He actually got control of an entire Carter clan. Made them drink Darkspawn blood. Weird shit. We tracked the Carter to an old dwarven fort or something in the mountains. Of course, it turned out to be a trap. They needed Hawke's blood to open the locks holding Corypheus, and they drew us into the prison to get it.
There has to be a way to defeat Corypheus. We'll find it. Don't worry.
I hope you're right. Maker's breath, what have I let loose?
Brutally murdered is not really the same as unleashed upon the world, Varric.
In this case, it might be. But you've got more important things to do than listen to me worry. Just let me know when you want something shot.
Mayor Gregory Dedrick of Crestwood is present for betraying his own constituents. He confesses that, 10 years ago, he flooded Old Crestwood to kill refugees and villagers touched by the Blight. The mayor claims it was to spare the rest of Crestwood, but we only have his word.
If the mayor has anything to say in his defense, let him speak.
There's no cure for the Blight. But I couldn't convince anyone to leave a sick child or husband behind.
So you herded the infected into one place and flooded Old Crestwood? Were no innocents caught in the waters?
Nearly everyone in the village had the Blight. I swear it. Have mercy. I couldn't tell the survivors I'd drowned their own families to save them. I couldn't.
You lied for 10 years about your crime, then fled after confessing your guilt. For avoiding justice, you are exiled from Ferelden. I doubt the Crown will disagree.
I knew your coming meant the end, one way or another.
Inquisitor, welcome to the Western Approach. We've sighted Warden activity to the southwest, but no one's been close enough to figure out what they're doing. Between the sandstorms and the vicious wildlife, we haven't made it far out here. One of my men got too close to a poison hot spring and gave me a slightly delirious report of a high dragon flying overhead. In short, this might just be the worst place in the entire world. Be careful out there.
Are you worried about me?
Someone has to be. And try not to die. I don't want to deliver that report to Skyhold. We intercepted a Venatori messenger and, persuaded him to give up the orders he was carrying. We have them here. This entire place. It just feels like something's not right. Be careful.
Glad you could make it. We've seen lights coming from the tower.
It has to be blood magic. I hope we can stop them before more people get hurt. You take point. I'll guard your backs.
Wait! No.
Warden Commander Clarel's orders were clear.
This is wrong!
Remember your oath. In war, victory. In peace, vigilance. In death... I'm sorry. Sacrifice. Good. Now bind it just as I showed you. Inquisitor! What an unexpected pleasure. Lord Livius Erimond of Virantium, at your service.
I'm guessing you're not a warden?
But you are. The one Clarel let slip. And you found the Inquisitor and came to stop me. Shall we see how that goes?
Wardens, this man is lying to you. He serves an ancient Tevinter Magister who wants to unleash a blight.
That's a very serious accusation. Let's see what the Wardens think. Wardens, hands up. Hands down.
Corypheus has enslaved them.
They did this to themselves. You see, the calling had the Wardens terrified. They looked everywhere for help.
Including Tevinter.
Yes, and since it was my master who put the calling into their little heads, we in the Venatori were prepared. I went to Clarel full of sympathy, and together we came up with a plan. Raise a demon army, march into the deep roads, and kill the old gods before they wake.
Corypheus marching across Orlais with an army of demons. That was in the future I saw at Redcliffe.
And now you know how it begins. Sadly for the Wardens, the binding ritual I taught their mages has a side effect. They are now my master's slaves. This was a test. Once the rest of the Wardens complete the ritual, the army will conquer Thedas.
So Corypheus influenced the Wardens and made them do this ritual.
Made them? No! Everything you see here, the blood sacrifices to bind the demons, the Wardens did it of their own free will. Fear is a very good motivator, and they were very afraid.
That's a lie. The Grey Wardens are heroes. They would never do this willingly.
The Grey Wardens care about nothing save stopping blights. They will do anything to accomplish that. You should have seen Clarel agonize over the decision. Burdens of command, I suppose.
Why would the Wardens try to kill the old gods?
A blight happens when dark spawn find an old god and corrupt it into an archdemon. If someone fought through the deep roads and killed the old gods before they could be corrupted... Woof! No more blights. Ever. The Wardens sacrificed their lives and saved the world.
That's madness. For all we know, killing the old gods could make things even worse.
Well then, It's a good thing I'm taking this demon army off their hands.
Why would Clarel risk using demons?
Demons need no food, no rest, no healing. Once bound, they will never retreat, never question orders. They are the perfect army to fight through the deep roads. Or across Orlais. Now they are bound to my master.
Do you really want to see the world fall to the Blight? What do you get out of this?
The Elder One commands the Blight. He is not commanded by it, like the mindless Darkspawn. The Blight is not unstoppable or uncontrollable. It is simply a tool.
He's a tool.
As for me, while the Elder One rules from the Golden City, we, the Venatori, will be his god-kings here in the world.
Release the Wardens from the binding and surrender. I won't ask twice.
No, you won't.
You think you can stand against me with just demons and a Fade Rift? Did Corypheus not mention what I did to the Breach?
He did. He also noted what he did to you at Haven. The Elder One showed me how to deal with you, in the event you were foolish enough to interfere again. That mark you bear, the anchor that lets you pass safely through the Veil, you stole that from my master. He's been forced to seek other ways to access the Fade. When I bring him your head, his gratitude will be... Ah! Kill them!
They refused to listen to reason.
You were right. Thanks to the ritual, the Warden mages are enslaved to Corypheus.
And the Warden warriors? Of course. Sacrificed in the ritual. What a waste.
Human sacrifice, demon summoning. Who looks at this and thinks it's a good idea?
The fearful and the foolish.
Hawk, they made a mistake, but they thought it was necessary.
All blood mages do. Everyone has a story they tell themselves to justify bad decisions. And it never matters. In the end, you are always alone with your actions.
I may know where the Wardens are. Eramond fled that way. There's an abandoned Warden fortress in that direction. Adamant.
I guess they didn't want to summon a demon army out in public.
The Warden and I will scout out Adamant and confirm that the other Wardens are there. We'll meet you back at Skyhold.